For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. Gaza's health ministry says an Israeli airstrike on a 5-story building where displaced Palestinians were sheltering in the northern Gaza Strip killed at least 60 people, more than half of them women and children. Also today, Lebanon's militant group Hezbollah said it has chosen Sheikh Naim Qassem as its new top leader following the killing of Hassan Nasrallah in an Israeli airstrike last month. The group said in a statement that Hezbollah's decision-making Shura Council elected Qassem, who had been Nasrallah's deputy leader for over 3 decades, as the new Secretary General. Hezbollah vowed to continue with Nasrallah's policies, quote, until victory is achieved. Meanwhile, Israel's parliament passed bills banning the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees from operating in Israel and the Palestinian territories. The agency, known as UNRWA, is the main provider of aid in the Gaza Strip and provides education, health, and other basic services to millions of Palestinian refugees across the region, including in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. Israel accuses UNRWA of turning a blind eye to militant groups it says have infiltrated the agency to siphon off aid. The UN agency denies the allegations, saying it quickly responds to any allegations of wrongdoing by its employees. Ollie Barrett has more.
Israel's allies are condemning a vote by the Israeli parliament to ban the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency from operating in the country. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says Britain is gravely concerned. US State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller says Israel should not move ahead with the ban.
UNRWA plays a critical, important role in delivering humanitarian assistance to civilians that need it in Gaza. There's nobody that can replace them right now in the middle of the crisis. So we continue to urge the government of Israel to pause the implementation of this legislation.
Israel has previously accused UNRWA staff of involvement in the October the 7th attacks and diverting aid in Gaza. I'm Ollie Barrett.
China says all systems are ready to launch the next crew to its orbiting space station. The 2 men and 1 woman will replace the astronauts who have lived on the Tiangong space station for the last 6 months. Charles de Ledesma reports.
China's ready to send the latest crewed mission to its orbiting space station, another step in its project to become a major power in space within coming decades. The Shenzhou 19 spaceship, with its 3-person crew, is due to blast into space from the launch center in northwest China at 4:27 a.m. local time early on Wednesday morning. Zhang Wei, a scientist of space utilization with Chinese Academy of Sciences, says China experts hope that more space experiment results can be used on Earth. Therefore, we're mainly conducting experiments related to life sciences and biotechnology, as well as materials technology. Besides putting a space station into orbit, China's space agency has landed an explorer on Mars and also aims to put a person on the moon before 2030, which would make China the second nation after the US to do so. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
North Korea said today that its top diplomat is visiting Russia in another sign of their deepening relations as rival South Korea and Western nations expressed alarm at the North's alleged deployment of thousands of troops to support Russia's war fighting in Ukraine. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency said a delegation led by Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui departed for Russia on Monday, but didn't specify the purposes of the visit. The report on Cho's visit came hours after the Pentagon said North Korea has sent about 10,000 troops to Russia to train and fight against Ukraine within the, quote, next several weeks. 2 ballot drop boxes in the Pacific Northwest were damaged in a suspected arson attack just over a week before Election Day, destroying hundreds of ballots at one location in Vancouver, Washington. At the other in neighboring Portland, Oregon, it appears a fire suppression system worked to contain the blaze and limited the number of ballots damaged to 3. Authorities are reviewing surveillance footage as they try to identify who is responsible. Faris Siddiqui has more.
Oregon County official Jessica Vega Peterson is promising to protect civil rights in spite of arson attacks on ballot boxes.
In these times where we're seeing events like this morning, along with claims of rigged elections and illegal voters used as scare and avoidance tactics. Multnomah County is committed to the fundamental protection of our democracy.
The FBI says it's looking for the driver of a Volvo after 3 fires in Portland and Vancouver, Washington that destroyed hundreds of ballots. I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
I'm Scott Baba for Pacifica Radio.